In 3, 2, 1. Last time on Glass Eye, we saw Selkie team narrowly evade a swarm of pot-belly type light walker frames. Sorry, the Xeon. Narrowly evade a swarm of pot-belly type walker frames swarming their swarming their light cruiser ship. Now, in the depths of space, they make their way over to a local asteroid port. A local asteroid port just nearby, and nothing but their vehicles and transports. Now alone on their mission, they must continue without the help of whatever. They must continue without the help of home base, and whatever lies the fate. And whatever lies the fate of their colonel. Currently, everyone is still floating. Currently, everyone is on essentially en route to this about average-sized asteroid base. It's not as big as a closed-type colony, but it is. It's mostly meant for transport ships and cargo vessels. It's the equivalent of it's the equivalent of like a town essentially built around a gas station, if that makes any sense.
Okay, so I'm gonna go on a limb and say it looks pretty specifically roll with a bunch of walker frames and like a equivalent of a jet fighter at this point. Then
it would look pretty suspicious. It would almost identify you immediately as military. However, you are still in colonial space at the moment. You're sort of teetering around the edge of the rings at this point.
okay. Would there be anywhere like nearby we'd stash this equipment that'd be out of sight so we don't have to, broadcast our presence to all and sundry?
I'd say you know this just based off common knowledge. Given that this is a sort of midway stop asteroid station, you'd be able to deduce that there's no way of getting around like there's no way of really hiding your presence. It's in very much open space. And if they have any level of security detail at the site, they'll immediately recognize walker frames coming towards them. However, that is an if. If you're lucky, you could probably stash the walker frames just outside of the port and just go in with your transports, but that would be, again, leaving them out in the open.
I have a question.
Mhm.
What does Captain Loglana do?
Captain Logue seems over comms just as confused as you are. He's sort of babbling on to himself whenever you check in on him. And he's sort of, yeah.
So he's useless.
Almost. He did give you. He's sort of like. Okay, once we make it our way to the station, we'll be able to get back to Origin. Origin, as you would come to find out, is the name of the colony where the sort of drop off for the drop off for your transport to Jupiter is coming from,
I see.
and ultimately where you want to be going, so to speak, if you are to continue the mission as is. You see Logue in his frustration sort of flicking communications on and off. Fuck, nobody's responding.
I'm more astounded that he's just saying this openly.
You are essentially on open communications with all of yourselves. It's more than likely that he isn't realizing he's broadcasting his frustration.
I don't see how that makes me not think less of him.
Oh no, you still think less of him, do. That is not up to me.
Azrael kind of like glances over at, basically like, oh, he's just complaining over live comms. Okay, doesn't say anything, but meets their gaze and is just like, yeah, okay, and then like just sits back, kind of mildly amused. Maybe not necessarily taking the situation as seriously as he should be.
We're gonna have to stash them just outside of the transport. If anyone has any objections, feel free to voice them, but I don't feel like announcing we're military to these people.
That
Cargo.
seems wise.
Good. I was about to ask how the two feds are doing. Beam, you would be in a transport with the adjutant at the moment. Once we get down, we can get our bearings and we can start heading for Origin. Unless if there's anything anyone would like to do in the dead of space, then that's exactly what you'd be doing. You wouldn't immediately, nobody would immediately recognize, I'd imagine, if they had been spotted by the base. But you are able to park, essentially, quote unquote, park your walker frames just outside. And essentially head into the base proper.
Alrighty.
You hear over the comms, all of you huddled in this transport. Coming in, this is Selene. Coming in, this is Selene. Who are you?
Wait. Is this person talking to us in their first name?
No. Or
Okay.
maybe. Coming in, this is Selene. What's your reason for docking?
So who's supposed to be in charge of talking to these people? If,
I look at
they
the
get
Yeah, I was about to
intelligence,
say it.
they're shaped.
North is just kind of glancing around for somebody just to sort of like take the initiative, I suppose. I mean, he's a lieutenant, but he's kind of expecting direction still.
Logue looks confusingly over at the two federal agents next to him, like, what am I supposed to do here?
Eli
I don't have the
immediately looks at the
identification.
Fed.
This give me 1 second. So was this originally the plan where we were supposed to stop at this at any point, or is this
Not at all.
Okay, so this is all entirely improvised.
Mhm.
Uh,
You were supposed to head to Origin Colony directly. However, the ambush of Lightwalker frames seemed to stop that plan in its tracks.
Eli's currently looking at the spook.
yeah. I guess need to come up with a reasonable why for why this like random. This is like a shuttle transport that we're all piled up into now, I assume.
This is a shuttle transport, commonly used for military operations, so it has seen some. It's like a seeing a military jeep driven by a civilian, it's not going to be super uncommon, but a little eyebrow raising.
Okay. I'm just trying to come up with a like plausible reason for why we're flying around and docking with this this station. Sorry, I missed a trick. I thought this was like subschedule. I'm gonna murder the captain fairly soon. I think if we got all the way here, we didn't have a chance knock.
You do have your false identification with you,
Okay,
and everything in. Oh yeah.
And what's the scope of the false IDs were? What again? It was having us disguise ourselves as like.
I am almost certain that the majority of you are Jovians, with a few of you being Cronians.
Right, and this is the plan where we're going to fall in with the like.
That you are going to initially fall in, yes,
Okay.
but you're currently in colonial space.
Hmm.
Celine coming in. Are your are your comms broken?
We have this maybe. What are our narrative points like? Could we have maybe spent to figure this out ahead of time? Because I didn't realize
Eight.
we're bumbling into this, and then the captain was just going to like, oh, there is no plan. Presumably, we had more time to think of this rather than like waiting till they're on the line with us. This is potentially a really bad idea.
Apologies
Yeah.
then. Would somebody like to roll me a 1d8? It was Gomine, then I believe. So this
I
would
can do
either
it.
be
D8.
okay. D8.
Correct.
We get all the donuts. I got 8.
Okay.
So we do have narrative plans. Where the hell are my D6s? Oh, they're just buried for some
So
reason.
we can
So
spend
you
narrative points to maybe deal with this question. What the heck we're doing here?
I'd say you'd be able to spend narrative points to both deal with the question and also given the fact that you still have the transport with all of your supposed supplies, including rations and basic equipment, including small firearms, you could pull from that as well.
Okay.
So that would.
No, that's fair. I mean, I don't think it's the worst plan for us to lean on, like, as our cover stories are. Like, yes, we're not supposed to be transiting colonial space, but my understanding is this is a thing that happens fairly regularly. It's just not with official sanction, right? Like having folks who have traveled to Earth and then traveling back, even though they're not supposed to, because of the situation here. It's not like completely unheard of.
I will say, Garnier, you've probably had to let yourself out of a situation before, haven't you?
Wait, what? What did you say?
Garnier, it wouldn't be unreasonable for you to have laid yourself out of a situation before.
No. I can't understand the words you're saying.
It wouldn't. I'm saying that you would have the skills. You've in the past have probably lied yourself out of a situation.
I have?
It's
Well,
not the issue of having the skill to lie. It's what's a like reasonable cover story for what we're doing out here. I think is what.
Yeah, that's
Right.
the issue we're running into.
I
We're
don't know. I've
showing up
never
in
been
an
to
area
Saturn in my fucking life.
And part of
Listen.
this, is I don't have enough knowledge. Is it reasonable for us to just claim that we are who our cover identities claim they are, and that we are, where we're not supposed to be because we're avoiding, clearly there's a fight going on, not all that far away. Maybe like working that into a believable backstory. It's like, why are we here? It's like, yeah, there was like shooting, and we are in a civilian, or mostly civilian shuttle, and didn't want anything to do with that, so we diverted here instead of carrying on our course. Or is that going to be wildly suspicious? I guess.
It won't be unreasonable, but you would have to bring up the battle, which could lead to further questioning.
Okay.
You see the adjutant sort of stand like ready at the as the pilot of the shuttle. If we just use the Cronian IDs, we could probably get away with not having to identify all of us. We don't know the sort of security level this place has. They could not be super looking into that sort of thing.
Okay. The only thing is, we're not like the Cronian IDs we have aren't meant to get us through this side of the lines, right? Like that's what I'm not sure on what's going to be the most reasonable lie to use here, because we need to not be further investigated.
I'd say anybody with a history, anybody here can roll a sort of this. I think this would be a poise politics here.
I think I can do that. What's my politics? Sure, I'll try. That's a 5. That might not work, but I'll try anyway.
I'll attempt. Not that I have a much better chance, but two is better than none.
Yeah, that's not happening. All right. Threshold was 5. Please let me edit my sheet, computer. Threshold was 5. I got, 3 failures.
3 failures. You're fucked. You're fucked. You're so fucked.
Yeah, okay. So North is like, he's panicking. Like, if anything, he's like, okay, yep. Knew this was, he's preparing himself to have to fight his way out of this situation. Like, if anything, he like stands up, because they're on a shuttle together, right? Or are they in separate places?
You'd all be cradled around this small transport shuttle. You essentially have the 2 seats in the front and essentially 6 passenger seats in the back.
Yeah. He, he's like unbuckled his seatbelt. He's like loading his pistol. He's like, okay, yep. I might have to kill a man today. I've got no fucking clue unless you guys know what the hell to do. You think they'd send us with somebody who with a better handle on the situation? They must be more desperate than they were letting on.
I also picked up 3 failure on trying the politics check of like, what's a reasonable lie to be telling to this?
Fuck it, I'll give it a go.
Oh my god.
Like,
Hey, 1 success.
Our fucking agent. Yay! Somebody.
to be fair, this is more me failing to have knowledge rather than what I presume the character would. Like, I have no idea what civilian traffic even looks like.
Yeah, I don't think, well, I mean, to be fair, I don't think North would either, because he's kind of been spent most of his life in the military system. He doesn't do good with figure it out yourself, buddy.
Beam, revolutionary identification and colonial identification is the exact same thing.
Okay.
So these IDs would be equally as valid.
But
And the oh yeah.
sorry, I guess my question is, like, yes, we have these IDs that we can successfully pose as, people from Revolutionary Saturn. The problem is we're not in Revolutionary Saturn controlled territories, so why would the colonial administered territories allow us to pass freely? I guess is the problem I'm having with using that as our.
When it comes to civilian identification, when you are on the border, because of the conflict going on, the identification would be equally as valid whether you are a civilian Cronian on the colonial side or on the revolutionary side. The revolutionaries are essentially, because of the expanse of the revolution, it would essentially be the same identification just from the colonial years the revolutionaries are using.
Yeah, no, I understand the validity of the IDs. It's more like, why would they let us cross back and forth? Because if it was like, oh, the IDs are equally valid, we let you travel back and forth. Like, no wonder we're losing this war against.
There's nothing that's stating you as specifically revolutionary Cronian on the identification, is what I'm
Okay,
trying
so
to
we're
get
just,
at.
we're just
You're
a bunch of
Cronian.
civilians. So
It should also be noted that even making that, given the nature of something like this, tour buses, not tour buses, but like airliners, not airline, transport ships, sort of luxury cruisers, a variety of specific, a variety of ships would cross through this. It's, even though it is a war zone, if there's anywhere where you're going to be able to get without a hard cover story, this would be your most likely place.
So, like,
And
is
I'm-
it reasonable for us to be stopping here saying, like, we're stopping for, like, fuel and oxygen then? Like, is that a fairly reasonable thing?
Roll me a, this is just gonna be, what would this be? Like a common sense roll.
Academics.
Yeah.
It's academics then.
Okay.
Keen academics.
In academics. Because, yeah, it's. Come on. What do you think we can stop rolling? That is a singular success. Also, I'm sorry, Go Mine rolled a success before I started yammering again, so we should probably deal with that first. My apologies.
Yes. So from Gomine success, the identification is valid. There's nothing stating you as specifically a revolutionary citizen or a colonial citizen. And for Beam success, even you think you could make it out with something even as simple as we're just something even as simple as like you're part of a larger ship, or you're just coming by to refuel on supplies.
Okay.
Well- Well, Mr. Beam, lie your way out of this one.
Yeah, I'll like try and lie our way through this. Based on the like materials I have here, can I like fake a like ship's registry or anything like that? Like, if we're gonna claim that, let's say we're basically a runabout for a larger ship that's just here to grab supplies, do I have an access to like make up one so that like that would more than a like
Yeah, I'd
lower
say
tier?
either. Oh yeah, I'd say that would either be another role for a sort of forgery, or you can use a narrative point there.
You know what? I think that it would be reasonable that was something that was kind of cooked up ahead of time. So let's just spend a narrative point on that. So we have like a ship that we've come from that we have, you know, allegedly temporarily detached for to go run this errand.
With that narrative point, I'll say you have an entire database of registries.
Okay, perfect. In case we
You have your pick of the crop here.
Okay. Yeah, just give me a fake ship name.
Oh, what, can I suggest
I
something?
guess.
We're for the Bellman. We're doing this for the Bellman Corporation. You know, the guy's definitely not involved in black market trading with the Jovians. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Makes
Wink,
sense.
I
wink.
see. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I wink, wink, nudge, nudge. See. Actually, I don't see. What's the subtle version of this?
What?
Sorry, I'm like playing up the being bad at lying because I have just now decided that
You're gonna
Azrael
look
can't
around and
lie to
see,
save
like,
his
you trying to,
fucking
like,
life.
Oh,
He's trying to be subtle, but it's making it more obvious.
I'm just real quick
So
going to
nobody
take.
let him go on the mic.
If you think you're prepared, we can go ahead and start the communication.
sure.
Uh,
I just
Unless if you think you need more time. But I will say, just sort of as a DM, I
I
think
think we've got the plan figured out. We're just going to lie, say that we're with the what was the name of this? The
Bellman.
Bellman Corporation. Okay.
Now remember, telling the truth has always also been an option, even if Logue was advising against it.
I've never heard such an outrageous thing in my life. Tired. Telling the truth is never an option.
As you enter the sort of space, the sort of, what would you call that?
Airspace? Space? I don't know.
As you enter
Vicinity?
the communication,
Vicinity?
vicinity, yes.
Yeah, vicinity works. Also, as far as I'm aware, most people generally would just use airspace. It gets across the same idea, even though there's no air. Territory also works.
Since when is the
Um,
English language been obliged to make sense?
Exactly.
As you, oh yeah.
No, I was just thinking, like, as we get close to this, I probably make sure that everyone's like brushing up on their fake IDs, because presumably we'll be using these until such time as we
Everyone,
get the hell out of here.
I'm going to give you the privilege. I'm going to give you the privilege of creating your own fake identification name.
Oh
You
my
do
god.
you do not. We'll say these are locked in by next session, so you can have the session to think about it. But you now, congratulations, you now all get to have your own fake names. And okay, as you enter the space of the of the, not the colony, the asteroid base proper, you hear a little flick on the radio. Coming in serene, coming in serene. Who is this?
I looked
This
to
is
Mr. Beam.
Yeah. This is Bellman Corporation shuttle, and then I will rattle off whatever like designation code that that's supposed to have. Presumably pulling one from our list. Here for fuel supplies and to do a drop off.
I'm going to use.
light on details, but if they know anything about the Bellmans, they probably wouldn't volunteer a whole lot of information.
I'm going to use the narrative point of my own. Bellman. Oh, okay, good. We were expecting you. Come on in.
Oh no.
Oh shit.
The entry gates open to the first airlock, and you have your own personal hangar. Just welcomed on in.
North was putting the pistol away, but then they're like, good, we expected you. He starts taking it back out.
Okay. I'm just going to come up with the lie of like, if they're actually expecting us, I'm just going to, if they like, oh, do you have the stuff? It's like, no, we're the advanced team. We're supposed to make sure everything's fine. And then we'll call them in like, once we're ready to go, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Our
'Cause,
captain's very paranoid, you see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And while we're here, we actually will get, because did we actually need to fuel up before leaving, or is this just like a convenient stop off point? Plus, we have to get our. Yeah, I assume we have to load up on fuel because we're gonna have to top off the like walker frames and other stuff, and we're supposed to carry on past this. So
You see Logue himself sort of he sort of looks I'm going to have to deal with the it just, calms off. I'll deal with the walker frames. We're going to need those transported through another means. You shouldn't have to worry about that. I've already got that settled with the first lieutenant. He points to the military intelligence officer behind you.
based on previous experience, how much do I trust the captain to have not royally fucked this up already?
Yeah, I was about to say. My machine's important. Don't fucking lose my machine.
He, even though he seems to have a temper to him, it seems that every mistake you've come into so far has usually been the fault of either mere chance or the person above him. He probably won't fuck it up, and on the off chance you don't trust him, that also means that you will have to take care of that.
Okay.
Or not the off chance,
No, fair enough. I'm just gonna start thinking about that in the back of my head. It's like, okay, if I have to be put in charge of this, how would I go about doing it? I mean, one nice thing is I know that apparently there's supposed to be a Velman delivery out this way, so we know there's some sorts of smugglers already floating around out here. So that's convenient.
If you could, I'm going to need at least one of you points in the general direction. Not at you, Mr. Beam, though I suppose you will also be listening in on this. I'm going to need one of you to get in contact with our transport to Jupiter. The time frame was tight, which explains a lot about this mission. We only have so many days, or at least they only have so many days to actually get an orbital hop to Jupiter. That's not going to take us down 2 months. So we're either going to have to go to them, or they come to us, and either way, they're probably not going to be happy with the delay. And if you ask me, I don't want to talk with some pissed off Jovians right now, so I'll go ahead and talk off with some pissed off corpos. You land in the hangar. It's relatively spacious itself, and you get a basic layout for the this asteroid base. It's, aside from the sort of basic docking and fueling supplies of the hangar proper, it's a zero gravity base with the ability for sort of, how would you say, magnetic acclimation. You'd the facilities are very bare bones themselves. Any living quarters you won't have access to. Though you do know that there's very basic communications and shopping districts as well in the base itself. You can assume that this is probably something populated by maybe like a little less than 1,000 people on the regular. It is mostly like suffice to incoming traffic. Essentially the spacer equivalent of a pit stop.
Okay.
It's a coal or refueling island.
Fuck yeah, kind of.
Okay. No, fair enough.
Ow.
I'm assuming one of the reasons we need to stop here is like if we're trying to call ahead to the like ship that's supposed to meet up with us, that we probably didn't have a range for that with our like onboard gear on like the shuttle or the walker frames.
No, this whatever communications is on the base properly is probably hooked up to a wider Cronian system. But even then, I imagine Colony. This is a Gomine. If you want to interject here, you can. Uh, Mostly communication is Colony through Colony, but there is wider systems for like governmental communication, and even some civilian communication from colony to colony.
I was just thinking in terms of like range, like probably can't pump a signal that far from our like onboard gear.
Oh no.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm more wondering. So I'm just trying to get the lay of the land of like what we need to accomplish while we're here
Then yeah, you would all know that to essentially get to Europa, you are going to need to meet up with the transport over at Origin. Over at Origin Colony, the transport, like mentioned previously, is a group of religious Jovian Muslims on their Hajj. They've been away from your understanding for a few years now and are finally making their long return home. And you're essentially acting as a mix of either other Jovian Muslims on their return or Cronian refugees who are being graciously allowed in and sort of smuggled, quite literally smuggled, past the border and back to Jupiter.
then. Okay.
So yeah, you see Captain Loke himself properly. I'm going to deal with the walker frame situation. I'm going to trust you get our transport ready. By then, in a week's time, we'll be all the way to the ice planet already. And he sort of takes off.
All right. So sorry, what's he asking us to do then?
He's asking you to get into contact with the to essentially secure your place on the vessel proper.
Okay. So I assume we have like that's been prearranged, so we just have to like transmit that we are going to be at such and such location by whatever
Such and such time.
Yep. Okay. No. Seems reasonable. So other than that, I guess we probably need fuel and like to make sure this we can make the rendezvous using this thing. If he's going to arrange for someone to get our like the actual military hardware there, so we're all going to have to travel on this thing. So yeah.
No.
No, I was just I'll gather up like what I need, which is probably going to be like I don't know if it's going to be like code phrases or whatnot that we need to transmit out to let them know that we are in fact like going to be making this rendezvous.
You see First Lieutenant Hugh, the SADI agent, and the only other boarding member aside from the captain and the adjutant, sort of walk out of the shuttle. If you're going to try and make contact, if you're going to try and make contact with the smuggling ship, sort of quotation mark she says there, then I'll go along with you, make sure everything goes smoothly. Actually, the first ones to make contact with them as well. If you want, I can do the talking, as long as you watch my back.
Sure. Just trying to think if we're going to stick someone on bodyguarding duty, that seems like Garnier's probably the most capable of that. If Beam doesn't have to do the talking. Not really.
North just kind of shrugs and he's like, I don't know if you want me to do talking, but I'm pretty good at punching and shooting people, so.
Trust
I
me,
mean,
I'm sure.
I can try. I imagine comedic cutback to him like proceeding to make make it incredibly obvious that he was lying. I don't think anybody wants him to try.
North, don't take this the wrong way, but if we find ourselves in a situation where you need to talk our way out of it, please just shoot them instead.
Honestly, in my opinion, that's preferable. I like how you think, guy. He just kind of gives him a thumbs up.
Eileen,
I think the one potential problem with North being muscle is he's like 5 feet tall. He probably doesn't look very intimidating.
That's
I
what
mean,
I'm here for.
He's probably the kind of guy who can like glare at you and like transmit malicious intent via aggressively looking at you. So he's got that going for him at least.
All right.
suddenly, oh yeah,
No, go ahead.
suddenly two things happen in very quick succession. The communications device goes on immediately goes on and goes off in the transport ship proper. A sort of loud ring, 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 just this sort of almost emergency blare, and the shuttle doors, not the shuttle doors, the sort of the opening gates to the rest of the colony, sort of separating your hangar from the rest of the colony proper, begin to open up on their own.
Oh, lovely. That doesn't seem great. I feel like the whole point of this visit was to avoid any blaring alarms, and that having changed does not seem ideal. But so have any of us disembarked this? Or are we all still sitting like sealed up inside this shuttle here?
Essentially, yes. The communications device still going on.
Is it like they're trying to hail us, or is it just?
It seems that these are two separate events.
I'm gonna like try and answer the comms and ask him to what's the big idea here? What's going on?
What's the big idea? You were the one who sir, you were the one who proposed this meeting in the first place. Listen, I sure you have the frames on you, yes?
Let's
Is
not
the
be too hasty. This is a little. What's the word I'm looking for here? I'm going to try and like divert this conversation by basically saying like you don't know who could be listening in on this. Like information like that should be a like face to face, not blared over the intercom.
if you're asking for subtlety, then you went to the wrong part. If you're asking for subtlety, then sir, you went to the wrong part of this godforsaken gas cloud. Now, are we going to do business or not? Me and my men are waiting outside the door as we speak. And you know what happens when my patience runs thin.
How good are you at math? I'll say it to
Math?
the crowd. Yeah, like basics like volume. Like where the hell do you think I've stuck a Walker frame in a shuttle?
I assume you don't have them on you, sir.
Yeah. No. No, I don't. So cool your jets.
We're going to cool our... Fine. Fine. I'm just expecting results. I need to get them. I need you to verify proof that you have what we need. You know how much I've put on the line for this? How much you have?
I'm aware, but I also realize that you don't really rush these things. It's not a great way to conduct business. Just hold
Time
on.
is of the utmost importance.
Why? What's the big hurry now? And I'm just fishing for information with that one.
Do you know math, my friend? The
big fan
gap
of
between Saturn and Jupiter is closing ever swiftly, and we need these in by the end of the week, not the next 4 months. If we cannot ride that wave, then we are done. Done. Now I'm going to open the shuttle door, and you are going to give me what I'm asking for. Do you understand?
Understood. I will turn off the intercom with that.
I'd look to Bean. Should I kill him?
I mean, I'm leaning towards we may have to kill these guys.
North is like, that can be arranged.
I really didn't want to end up in a firefight like 5 minutes
Immediately.
after arrival.
Well, I mean, the least,
Jumpy idiots want first, I guess.
at the very least, I can guarantee you it won't be a long firefight. I don't know how much that helps.
You hear-
I stand up. Lieutenant, would you please like to take the sticks?
You talking to me or the other?
I look to either of
Forgetting
them.
how many lieutenants there are.
Lieutenant North, would you like
'Cause
to
I
take
don't
the
think I'm
sticks,
driving
or
anything.
Miss Eileen, would you prefer to take control?
I mean, if the situation's going towards violence, I might be the best qualified.
I'm. What about the captain?
Doesn't seem to be doing anything at the moment.
He left to deal with the Walker frames, or he just. If shit goes down, are we just gonna leave him here?
I mean, that wouldn't be my first thought. Probably would be second thought, though.
As the door opens, you see.
What this situation is like is
As the door opens, you see a man in a sort of more pristine, not suit, but a sort of, how would you say, a thinner sort of, not even really pressurized spacesuit.
some jumpsuit kind of looking thing.
Jumpsuit kind of looking thing, exactly. Followed by 4 men in a sort of similar attire, a bit more bulkier. Something meant for outside of hangar use. As they all enter. Alongside, one of the men is pulling a sort of bag case-like structure, a bit bigger than two of them combined.
Okay. I guess we can go see what our quote unquote business partners here want and how see if we can talk our way out of this.
Mr. Beam, could you perhaps convince them that we're here to make a delivery for someone else?
Yeah, that doesn't seem unreasonable. The fact that these guys are so jumpy, like we might be able to convince them that they've screwed this up themselves.
Yeah, that sounds like the best way to go about it, in my opinion.
I leave
Like,
You want me with you or waiting back here?
Honestly, just being ready to cover us for the door might be a good option.
Works for me.
I'm gonna like stuff my like hold out pistol in my coat pocket and like undog the hatch.
So,
Are you guys new at this or what?
he rolls his eyes. We don't need to be subtle. We
Are
know
you
why we're here. Okay, what are we afraid of? What's so scary?
Did you bother checking, seeing who you're even talking to, or maybe if there's another reason, a perfectly legitimate trading company might have a delivery, even this is to the arse end of nowhere?
Perfectly innocent. If you're not with the... There was only one Bellman shuttle coming here. We know who you are. Don't try and get out of this.
I'm not trying to get out of anything, friend. I'm just trying to suggest to you that maybe some forethought might have been called for. Did you even ask who I was? No. You just heard the name of the ship and then immediately jumped the gun and started talking about walker frames.
Who
Listen,
said I was talking about walker frames?
did he not say walker frames?
He did.
Okay. This is a case of me not trusting my own hearing, but he didn't. Okay, if he did in fact say that,
Sir, we are a grateful business of iframe salesmen. That's all we're here to deliver.
The thing is, even if Tyre, you are correct, he was talking about iframes. Beam earlier said, "Where the hell am I going to stick a walker frame?"
He's being sarcastic.
Ah, I see.
yeah, like no, okay. I'm going to give him the lie of like, yeah, we came to check this out first before setting anyone in with the merchandise. I have to say, if this is the level of professionalism we have to deal with, I'm not entirely certain our employers will be happy to be making this deal. At least not here.
Where else but here?
I don't know. The solar system's a big goddamn place, but this is some fly-by-night bullshit that I'm not particularly impressed with.
We've sponsored this station. We should be able to trade here however the fuck we like.
How do you think the colonial authorities feel about that? They kind of have a bit of a say on these things.
Any colonial authority that cares. Why am I even explaining this to you? So, what, you're expecting me to believe that all of a sudden, a transport, our transport, sponsored by our station, somehow slipped through here in just the perfect time frame to cause some big mix-up? Why are you even transporting in that thing anyways? Bodies?
How bothers transporting bodies? There's lots of places to dump them. Doesn't make any
That was-
sense at all.
Sir, I say to
Jesus, you sadist, that was a joke.
I thought we were here to deliver cigarettes for the Jovags.
I mean, that is a pretty lucrative trade, actually. It's not a bad lie.
Do you want me to roll for it, Tired, or you're just gonna roll with it?
You can roll for it. No, you can roll for it.
Any modifiers? Because cigarette trading for the Jovians is a lucrative business. Cigarettes are illegal in Jovian
Cigarette
space.
or I'd say yeah, that's going to be a plus. I'm going to say if there'll be a +1 if Beam makes it, or a +2 if Beam makes it, a +1 if you make it, simply because Beam has already had. Actually, let me check your stats, make sure I'm getting this correct. Yeah, I'll give either of you a +1 to make that.
What would my attribute
mistake.
skill be?
Well, considering this is deception, this would probably be a grit deception here.
A grit?
You're sort of coming up with this on the spot, aren't you?
Wouldn't keen be better?
Keen would be better.
So
I was just thinking
7, 8. I need to beat an 8. Ah, fuck up. Five successes.
Hell yeah.
fucking tobacco trucks. We're going to keep this little open secret between everyone here, okay? Okay, a bear transport. You're not going to be able to smuggle that into Jovian space. Please, we barely bought that. You think they are?
I mean, you bought the wrong thing in the first place. But
We didn't think you were actually carrying anything.
guys, here. So the angle I'm playing for here is basically I'm gonna make these guys feel like a bunch of fucking idiots. Is the plan of like they played their hand way too hard, and I'm going to lay on the angle of like, hey, we work for the same people. I'm not going to blow up your deal, so like, let me do my business. I'll let you do your business, and we won't bother each other any further. Is the angle I'm going for here? So yeah, I'll say like, listen, pal, I didn't come here for advice on how to do my job. I'm certain you're tired of me busting your balls on how to do yours. We'll just stay out of each other's way. We're all gonna be happy with the profits we make. We can just do the run our little errands here. We'll be out of your hair before your proper shuttle shows up, anyways.
Just don't tell anybody I broke protocol here.
We all have bad days. It's fine. I don't know if you need me to.
I'll get out of your hair, you get out of mine. Oh, and here, for your troubles. He sort of takes one of the crates sort of unlodges it. You're probably going to need this in case you need to. You probably don't have enough on board as is. You're going to need this in case the fucking Jovags try and. Well, you know what guards are. Sort of small, hand-sized crate floats towards you as the men actually begin to leave.
Much obliged, and I'll like undog the crate and see what the hell I'm looking at here.
That is a crate full of colonial credits.
I look down at it. Do the IVA take these?
That's a great
You-
question.
You don't know.
Part of me doesn't want to take these just because
It looks incriminating.
it looks incriminating as hell, and like if our timing ends up being bad and the other bellwether ship shows up, they're gonna be wondering what the fuck we're doing with like part of their stash. And yeah, we're going somewhere where this money shouldn't be doing us any good. And if we needed cash, presumably that would have been part of the like mission supplies we have. So I will actually like call out to this guy and say like, "Hey, bud, the thoughts appreciated, but we're going to be traveling the wrong direction to make any use of these. May as well send them back with the next crew, and I'll like slowly sail it back across the empty space to him."
Suit yourself. You know, you could have pocketed a few of these. Nobody looks. Trust me, I'm the guy.
I don't want that bad karma on me. This line of work.
He takes it, you know, puts it back in the strap. Little industrial strap, just harnesses it back in. Goes along his merry way. And you are left back as Logue in a few minutes enters back in.
No, when those guys leave, I turn to Mr. Beam and I say, "Well, that went swimmingly. I didn't even have to use a grenade."
Yeah, I gotta admit that was a pleasant surprise. But the only pleasant surprise we've had since this farce started.
He like gets up towards the cockpit of the transport. Adjutant with me. Still nothing from home base.
Should we turn
I don't know
back?
what this. No, because then we'd have to give up the entire operation.
Yeah, I don't think that's really an option anymore.
Anyhow, everything we needed from them, we already got back in the transport. It just means that we're going to have to make the ending on our own. At least unless I'm wrong about this hunch in my gut. Listen, I was able to get in contact with some folks in engineering. We're going to be able to get we're like as planned, we're going to be able to get the walker frames into a series of of cargo containers if we're lucky. Yeah, like if we're able to pace them well enough. The thing is that we're going to need at least 2 of us with them, me and the adjutant. If you folks can get yourself smuggled in the first transport, we can probably make our way through the through a second. Though we'll have to improvise. We'll be a little late, but we'll be able to meet you there with the frames. You think you're gonna be able to handle it on your own? Not talking to the Fed, I know you can. He's looking at the at both Garnier North and Aileen.
North just kind of shrugs and he's like, I'm gonna have to, right?
It's not just your life on the line.
I'm certain I can just shepherd them through for you, Captain.
He gives you a look. One you can't quite discern at a glance, but a look. I'll be on my way. I'll meet you at the Red Sun. And he hops off with the adjutant. Here we can either call the session or continue, depending on how everyone feels. We can take a break here as well.
I'm good.
Yeah, like I'm good to keep going. If people want to take a 5 minutes, whatever, that's fine too.
Gomin?
I'm currently good.
Paradox.
Yeah, I'm good.
A short little time. Oh,
No, I'll just say I'm good.
okay, good. You, the Sadie agent looks over at you. Lieutenant Hugh, looks over at everyone. Anyone's going to fly this thing?
Like we have a wealth of pilots to take care of that job.
As you make your way outside of the station into Origin proper, you weren't actually able to contact them as you initially planned, unless if any of you want to do anything while you're still in the station. If not, you're able to essentially find the coordinates yourselves. The coordinates, entering Origin Colony itself isn't that big of a deal. You were able to, unlike the station itself, the war has sort of seen some damage to this colony. There's actually a plethora of sort of unmanned entrances damaged by the conflict. The colony itself in some states of disrepair. This is a border colony after all. Getting inside, you get the standard layout of a close type colony like this, a very sort of industrial colonial space. This is sort of an you can assume this was a intermediary colony between the sort of helium-3 mining from Saturn itself and the future transportation of the fuel to the rest of federal lines. though in a eerie sense, it's almost entirely empty. There's this any cars you see are abandoned, stripped for parts. Any grass is long dead alongside the trees. There's little sense of vegetation and little sense of life. There is life. There's still people moving across the streets. There's still workers and scavengers and the like. But whatever this colony once was, it no longer is. The drop point is in one of the abandoned parks, deep within the woods. It's sort of gated off from the rest of the colony, strangely enough. And once you're able to park yourself somewhere, you're able to make short of what appears to be the leftovers of federal encampments. A little fire recently burned down, recently extinguished to the side. And so there you are in the sort of dead wood of a forgotten colony of the conflict, ready to meet your drop point somewhere deep within these woods. You note it, and is there anything any of you would like to do here?
I turned to Eileen. Man, this place sure is nice. Staring at a silent Eileen.
Oh no, what happened to Eileen?
Beat that?
This place sure is nice.
Eileen just kind of nods. She's definitely not from what she's thinking. She's a walker for she's
Huh? What?
wants to be a walker.
No, I can't hear you, Paradox.
Oh, she wants to get in the walker frame.
Yeah, I'd say North is kind of antsy without having his machine around.
Pilots are nervous out their emotional support mecha.
Exactly.
Exactly. You get it?
Like that's not even a joke. He wants
Driving
his
the train.
emotional support machine.
North, take a mind damage. I'm going to use my last narrative point here and roll. Unless if you want to roll a check here, but take a mind damage as you imagine vividly in your head a bunch of strange engineers taking apart your precious Brady Hunt.
This is upsetting. I am now have 7 mind. Yeah, North is not doing great. He's like fidgeting with like his I assume people still have dog tags in this universe, yes.
Wait, are
And
people still
he's
wearing their dog tags on this?
well,
like-
yeah, no, we probably wouldn't be. We're undercover, so
If you were, it's like, oh man, we have not properly briefed you guys on how to do this.
This operation is such a shit show.
that's my
Eileen is
bad.
definitely not wearing dog.
Oh, that's very funny though, because I could also imagine like, you reach up to fiddle with them and they're not there, which like momentarily is distressing.
Yeah, so that's what happens actually. He like reaches up because that's his, like normal thing to fidget with when he's anxious and nothing's there. And if anything, it just kind of makes it worse. He's now like pacing back and forth.
You feel a shoulder on your hand. The Sadie looks down at
he
you.
jumps.
You're supposed to be the strength of this operation. Keep calm. We'll get there in time.
Easy for you. Eh?
You'll get your thrill soon enough.
It's not thrill I'm worried about.
And what does a stick jockey worry about? She says insensitively, but almost unintentionally insensitive.
I'd say the insensitivity. It's not like the worst of things that people say to him. He's used to not necessarily being treated the nicest by the people who talk to him. He just kind of like laughs a bit. He's like, right, yeah, what am I worried about? In calling me a stick jockey, you're kind of pointing it out right there. I'm not exactly of much use without my machine. Probably gonna have to retune the fucking calibration. I have to every time I tell people. I leave a note on the cockpit dashboard. Don't touch it. I don't care how much you think you're doing me a favor. He's just like tapping his foot. What are we even waiting around here for anyway?
Well, when you're waiting for a ride, you kind of have to rely on the ride to, show up.
And how long before we decide, oh yeah, they probably also got stuck in customs and are fucking dead now, so we can turn back?
I mean, there's a timer, but I don't think telling you is going to help.
No, I don't think it will.
So for all of our sakes, I'll leave you in the dark for now.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
This transport has been something awaited by years by the people who are taking it. They won't be late.
Unless they got blown up by pirates or warlords.
Good point. Can't forget about that.
I say
I'd
that
be
as
more
I'm,
worried about pirates on.
shoving a grenade in my pocket.
Pirates aren't the only thing we're going to have to be worried about. And she sort of, stomps out the still slightly ashen campfire of the federal camp.
I thought you were about to say, just back to the old guard, you had a character light up cigarette, then immediately put it out. Like an insane person. I think about that.
Listen, there'll be
believe-
no wasting of cigarettes at this time since we're going where they're, literal contraband.
You know how much they're worth now. You can't be wasting that shit.
No, it makes it feel much
This
better
isn't-
though. The
It's
euphoria,
counterculture.
the euphoria is doubled when it's illegal. That's how that works.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that's crazy talk, but then I remember how much I preferred drinking back in high school before it was legal too. Yeah, no, it's not an unfair point.
You see above you a rather large, for a in-colony ship, for a ship, you see something rather large for a ship to fly in, a rather large ship for in-colony flight, sort of pass above you. Smaller than your cruiser, no doubt, but definitely, definitely something meant to hold a wider capacity of people. Alongside it, you see a sort of federal military police transport as well, follow just behind, landing just nearby in front. If you decide to make your way further down the path, you'll see a huddled up group, about dozens of people. And in front, you see the federal police themselves, the military police specifically, MPs. You'll see federal MPs sort of standing at the gates, each one looking through and taking some sort of exchange happening between them and the group.
I have a question.
As you see, yes.
Are these colonials or regulars?
These appear to be colonials.
Alrighty. So we can just bribe them.
As you get closer, it appears that is exactly what's happening. You see people of very obvious Jovian descent, some in very religious garb, others in close to rags, giving these sort of federal MPs what appears to be large amounts of credits. A man, sort of wider stature and in religious garb himself, looks to you all. Ah, welcome, welcome. You must be the late arrivals, yes? It's been a long journey. Sorry for interrupting.
I didn't have any more to add. I was just acknowledging him.
It must have been a long journey for the lot of you, yes?
Long enough, but nearly home now. Soon.
Nearly there. Such an amazing experience, and yet it does make you homesick now.
North just kind of nods. He has concluded that it's probably best if he just, smile and wave, that kind of thing.
You young one, how was it?
Life changing.
No greener grass in anything here. For once we were truly home. It was...
He just nods, tries to look kind of like overwhelmed with emotion, like brushes like a fake tear from his eye.
Child, I know what you've been through. Let's get you to safer passing.
He nods again, does a little like yeah, he just, like nods deeply. It's like he's just trying to look like as overwhelmed as possible. And half of it isn't even acting because he is quite overwhelmed.
Listen, the colonials, they will not care what or who you are, but you do have enough to pass, right?
Beam will like tap his coat pocket. We are prepared. But I presume I have an envelope stuffed with cash just for this occasion.
Good. We apologize. This wasn't part of the plan. They followed us in, and it seems that they decided pocket change was. And you hear a loud sort of, not a gunshot, but like a clash of like metal against jaw. And you hear a commotion in the front of the line against the MPs and one of the passengers. I didn't know. We weren't supposed to. Please, let me through, please. And you just see the man sort of kicked and scurried off. Should have thought about that before coming here, Jovag. He like fires a shot in the air just to mess with him.
I have a
And he
question.
goes back. Yes.
Who among us actually understands Cronian?
I think we figured out that I did.
Because I thought I didn't.
Shit,
So I
that
don't know
means
if
I
this
have
guy.
to
I
do
don't know if this
things.
guy is speaking in Cronian or Spacer or whatever.
This man is speaking this man would be speaking in Cronian.
So I
Though,
cannot understand a
ironically-
fucking word he's saying.
Yes. Luckily, you're the man who greeted you was speaking in a broken spacer.
North, what's going on?
It called him a Jovag, told him to get lost.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, sucks to be that guy.
If anyone wants to, they can roll a check here.
2.
Just a quick keen perception.
Sure.
Not perception, keen awareness.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Thank
Rolling
you.
for hammers.
Roll for
This
hammers.
is not an important roll, so
Hammers is always
One.
important. What do you mean?
I don't want the hammers.
2 successes. Now I'm going to actually roll for
Oh.
hammers. 9 hammers.
9 hammers? Okay.
He's the target.
Okay. My
successes.
threshold 9. I got a 4. 6 successes.
6 successes. It's both obvious by the appearance of the man who was running and by his sort of attire. That was very clearly a Cronian. That was very clearly a refugee and not somebody coming home from Hajj.
I don't think we have anything to worry about.
As the line thins and more enter into the transport, you sort of hear a halt. You sort of hear one of the Cronians like stop the lot of you. And in Cronian, he begins to you don't look Jovian.
Who's he pointing at?
Just in general, all of you. You'd be the last in line here. Which I should say for the record, there isn't really a way to look Jovian.
Yeah, in my mind's eye, it's all about you don't sound Jovian, is how it should be said.
I think North Snack, because we've established he could speak Cronian, right? So he just kind of like snaps back in Cronian. What the fuck's that supposed to look like?
Jovians, compared to us, big pockets. They have their pockets filled. You don't look anything like that. I'm afraid we can't let you pass. Really, nothing like the Jovians we know. Nothing like the Jovians in there.
I look at Mr. Beam, exasperated.
Yeah.
Beam will like kind of groan and then slowly reach into his pocket and grab that envelope mentioned before, stuffed with cash.
How much cash is in there?
More than enough.
More than enough.
Like
You
a lot, but not so. Ideally, not so much that it makes it look like I have a ton more. If that makes sense, it's like, listen, bribing the colonials is accepted. Like everyone knows you're gonna have to do that, and presumably
Just-
we've done our homework to know that what's reasonable. If it's if it's a bribe where it has to be $1,500, it's like 1,700, not 10 times that or something stupid to be suspicious. That
just big old whistle. Ugh. Could have brought 3 more friends with you. What? They got homesick? Come along. Just rushes all of you in.
like we established, Beam can speak Cronian, but I'm not going to lean on being able to speak it like natively, so he'll use it as little as he can get away with. Just nod.
Make sure you have more of that when you decide to come home. The door begins to shut, though I will say this will be another opportunity for a... This will be... Ooh. Keen awareness, I'll say, but I'll also take keen sleight. And I'll also take poise sleight. So sort of interchangeable before those 4.
My slight's pretty good. Oh, well, my keen awareness is technically my best out of all of those.
2 successes.
Okay.
I fail on awareness by 1.
3 successes.
You're not able to get it. You're not proficient in the language beam. Garnier, you can't speak Cronian, so you can hear the conversation perfectly. You could probably tell it to somebody if you wanted to. But you have no idea what they're saying. And North, you're able to kind of piece together... Go ahead, call the captain. And the door closes.
Does that flag as suspicious to me, or just that they're getting ready to go?
You're unsure.
Okay.
You could bring it up to Mr. Beam.
North kind of like, because they're in a cramped environment, but he like kind of goes up next to him and is like, he said they're calling the captain. Does that sound good, bad? Like we're finally getting the hell out of here? I don't know. I guess just be on guard.
Keep our eyes open, I guess.
Garnier, I'd say, given your personality,
Mm-hmm.
you'd understand the Cronian words vaguely for bastard and catch, which you did hear.
Ah. I will inform the rest of the crew of this. And while we're waiting, I'd like to just put my hands in my coat pocket to thumb over some, notebooks in my pocket. Now what?
Well, as for what you're able to do, you technically could just sit down and enjoy the next few days of your life in a very cramped, very tight space, full of a mixture of Jovian-born, Jovian-born, usually like men, older men, and a few Cronian refugees. Or you could act on what you just heard, depending on how you interpreted it. I will let that be your decisions.
By act on what we just heard, do you mean like investigate what they're up to?
Well, I'm sort of giving you the layout here, though I will say, this will be, if we wanted to, a natural end to the session. Which, given our current runtime, when I say that, you could open the door, you could investigate, but the ship is leaving.
I think North's just gonna like make sure that nobody, I guess, immediately around him looks particularly suspicious. Or I guess just like poke around the ship enough to get the overall vibe of everybody who's here, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Eileen is focused on finding exits when need be.
Say that again?
Eileen's focused on finding exits when need be.
You, besides the obvious sort of cargo exit which you just came in the ship to, you'd notice on the second floor, this being a two-story ship, you notice on the second floor there would be how would you say, a sort of airliner-esque emergency exit and a person use airlock as well, towards the back on the second floor. What you notice is that the cargo bay door itself is not exactly airlock sealed. In either what is meant to be something only meant to be opened in colony, or the worst safety hazard you've ever seen in your life. You're not sure which. Actually, looking through, you and North would stumble upon a curious figure. Hey, you
Yes.
two.
Yeah.
I know what you are.
Oh, the what am I?
Oh, I know what you are.
Do you?
He gives a nod.
He like kind of crosses his arms.
I just imagine this guy's trying to get his says something like absolutely deranged, like he's like a salesman on the street, and says like you're looking for a wife or something.
I would say,
yeah,
if
that's
he walks
why.
up and says he wants to give me his mixtape, I'm tossing him out the airlock.
Yeah, that's why he's just kind of like crossing his arms and sort of like standing there, like he's waiting for him to say what he thinks he is, essentially.
You're in it for the cause. And he opens his jacket, and you see a very hideous homemade t-shirt that's like "fuck Luna" written in bold letters, and a little man like kicking Luna, like kicking the Earth's moon like a baseball. Soccer ball. Baseball. Baseball.
Kicking it like a baseball. Let's go.
My
If you-
brain was soccer ball. Ooh. Now we're done. Dang it.
You're tired of the shit the feds are doing to us. And you are here to get out of it.
I have a question. Where does this guy sound like he's from?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Oh, this would actually be a role. This would be an interesting role. This is going to be attacked politics.
Not
I've
academics?
already failed
Oh, this
politics
would be
once.
academics. This is academics. You're
okay.
correct.
I really know where this guy is from. I got 2 1s.
Oh,
Two
critical.
ones.
That's a potential point.
Yeah.
I got 3 failures. I can't make his accent.
Well,
I failed as well. Could not place if I'm indeed close enough to even hear this.
Azrael,
mm-hmm.
at first you think Terran, and then you realize the exact sort. You immediately recognize this is a Terran, is what I'm trying to get at. Like, down to the country.
I see. What country is he from? Now I'm curious.
You'd wager this has to be from the Americas.
Wait,
This is a very Americas accent.
then how
Okay.
can we be sure he's not a Martian?
That is true.
I guess I just get such strong America vibes, I can tell. I don't know.
He sounds like Tree Hugger.
He sounds like a tree hugger. But just
Does he look like one too?
he's kind of, yeah. Not in the redneck vibe. You listen, it's fine. It's fine. I'm one of you guys. I'm with you. And like, it doesn't matter if the revolutionaries are like counter to like jovial ideals. They're still doing it, right? That's what matters. That's what matters, man.
I'm already
Hey, come on, why don't
tuning
you
out
take a
of-
seat next to me?
I'm already tuning out of this conversation.
Eileen has like a mental throw hands in the air and has essentially walked away.
North
Nice.
is amused. He's just kind of standing there. It's just like watching this guy go on his spiel, kind of in like, okay, how long is this guy gonna go on for? Mild amusement.
Now, a lot of people like criticize Grace Armada for her policy for continuing like the jovial expansionism on sexism. But like, listen, it's for like the greater cause, right? We need they need the population expansion. They need to outpace the feds in the baby market. It is of utmost importance.
He's talking about the
He's
baby
just-
gap.
He's just like nodding along, right? And like he like looks back over his shoulder at Eileen, and it's so obvious he's trying not to laugh. And then like have you ever like those like street preachers, for like and they'll just like go on and about like absolutely ridiculous shit if you just let them keep talking. Like that's essentially what he's doing right now. He
It's-
thinks this is
It's like the
funny.
moral equivalent of like a really long chain email with an obvious scammer.
Yes.
Now listen, I am selling these for only 5 jovial credits, which I know is expensive out here but like just only 5. I got you my Zine, right?
How many do I have on me?
Do we have any use Cree on us?
You'd probably have some Uscree on you. You'd have to take it with you, considering where you're going.
Also, should I
Oh,
do
yeah,
the
good
thing
point.
I suggested in VC?
If you want to.
What did you suggest?
What would the attribute be?
This would be melee.
Oh my god.
No, for the composure.
Oh, composure. Oh,
I
yes,
kind of
yes.
want you to just punch him.
This would
That
be
would be
grit.
really funny.
Either grit politics or grit empathy.
Grit?
Grit performance could also work.
I don't have no performance. Alrighty then. That composure would make more sense, but performance it is.
You're putting on a performance to not be angry.
Yeah, but wouldn't that be composure?
You're
Keeping my
still
cool.
angry. That's true. Yeah, it would be composure.
Composure what?
Grit composure.
2 successes
can-
as opposed to my
Two
4 failures.
You are like, on the seat behind, sort of leaning against, just like, God, please, like, you do not punch him.
Grant me the strength to not grenade this man.
Thumbing the pen.
I'm gonna lean over. So you said I'm behind this guy. I'm gonna say with a very obvious Belter accent, "Hey man, shut the fuck up."
North just starts fucking cackling. He thinks this shit is so funny.
Oh, and how's that been treating you? You know how you know what the feds are doing to the belts. Oh, I'm sure a militia army is completely necessary for a group of people who aren't oppressed.
I look at him funny. I'm front on the rings, jackass.
I mean, you kind of all sound the same.
That's it.
Wow. Okay, guy.
What do I need to roll to punch this man?
Shit, you beat me to it.
I imagine while this is all going down, Beam just is sighing and like flipping through a newspaper.
This
Yeah,
would
God.
be
What do I roll?
this would be a wrath. This would be a wrath. I'm going to say this is either going to be a wrath melee to punch him, or if you want to be funny, a wrath politics to punch him.
Can it be grit instead? I have my bonuses in grit. It's a higher one, anyways.
Can you explain to me how what you're doing is not out of pure rage?
Well, it's also deeply physical, and I'm using my big frame to beat the crap out of this guy.
Okay, then it can be a grit.
Yay!
Yay.
That is a failure, but I have well built, so I can re-roll fail grit checks. 3 successes.
You punch this. It's a good hearty punch right in the nose, and he just sort of. Fuck, man. Jesus. You know how little first aid we have on this ship?
Maybe you should have kept her trap shut then.
You know, I left Terra so I went after Van Tassels like you.
Prepper, did you say something?
I'm enjoying letting this play out. We might have words for people afterwards, but this is funny in the meantime.
North is like, yeah, guys, stop. I mean, honestly, you only have yourself to blame, just assuming everybody else believes the batshit insane stuff you believe.
Bad shit. This. Listen. I'm sorry that you're getting angry that we're moving to an actual fucking democracy. Fuck. How do I replace this? I just got this nose job.
um,
Just get the fuck away from me. Fuck. It's everywhere.
I walk away with North. And that, sir,
yeah,
is why we don't trust Terrans in the army.
good point.
Once
I think I can understand.
once Buddy like slinks off holding his nose or whatever, he's gonna lean over. It's like, now while I'm sure that was immensely satisfying, could we maybe think about not raising to the bait, rising to the bait of every dipstick, pro Cronian out here? We are supposed to be on, something of a covert operation. Gonna like whisper this so that hopefully no one else overhears, because that'd be real awkward.
Technically hasn't started yet.
Beef will just like slowly blink at that and kind of stare.
You say surrounded by Jovians.
Exactly. Hence the slow blink. I'm like,
You seeing
to be
this
fair,
shit?
Beam just doesn't comprehend. What do you? He hasn't started yet. Oh, I'm not working with people trained for this, and it shows.
Yeah, he just kind of shrugs.
This is gonna be an interesting trip.
You see Lieutenant Hugh come back. Just got word. I talked with the captain of the comms where the captain and the adjutant, they just got on the one right after us. We should be making smooth sailing with the cargo as we speak. Oh, and also, do you think this fits in my size? And she like holds up a shirt, and it's the Fuck Luna t-shirt. Just they would love this back home.
Where's Hugh from again?
She's from Aldrin, Luna.
Ah.
Damn thing was probably made on Luna.
Please, they wouldn't do that. It's made in Mars.
Cheaper labor, I suppose.
Well, I doubt something like this is exactly going to fit in with the counterculture over on Europa. You think that guy was bad? Wait until you meet the free market movement over on Jupiter.
Don't those guys love us though?
Yes. And she says that through like gritted teeth. Anyhow, yeah, I'm going to go get some shut-eye. It's gonna be a long flight. I expect all of you to get some rest. Once we land proper, we're actually going to be in it for the long game. We're already in it. There's no going back now. Just keep close and lip shut. And she sort of, pockets the like in her jacket, pockets the t-shirt and takes a seat by one of the in the civilian cockpit. Not cockpit, boy. Cabin. And you are now on liftoff. You can see through one of the ports. You're in space. You're in the dead of space. You've long since passed the colony. The orbit of Jupiter, of Saturn, begins to get a little farther and farther each and every passing moment. And with that, we will end our session.